Yeah, good evening again as I welcome you to the second series of this lecture on Chaplain as a Peace Ambassador. Now, I want to start from looking at the word peace building, peacemaking, peacekeeping, and peace enforcement. Now, peace building is a term describing outside intervention. Outside intervention. I repeat again, peace building is a term that describes the outside intervention that are designed to prevent the start or resumption of violence. Outside intervention that describe or that are designed to prevent the start of violence or conflict or the resumption of it again. Peace building activities address the root cause or potential cause of violence. Peace building creates a societal expectation for peaceful conflict resolution and stabilize society, political and socio-economic. I repeat again, peace building activities, the activities of peace building. Don't forget, peace building describe the outside intervention which are designed, some of the activities that are designed to prevent the start of a violence or the resumption of violence. That means peacekeeping can be before a violence and it can be after a violence. Although many of peace building aim overlaps with those of peacemaking. Now, peacekeeping and conflict resolution, it is a distinct idea. Peacemaking involves stopping an ongoing conflict. I repeat again, peacemaking, what makes it different is that it involves stopping an ongoing conflict, whereas peace building happens before a conflict starts or once a conflict ends. Now, peacekeeping prevents the resumption of fight following a conflict. It does not address the underlying cause of violence or work to create societal change as peace building does. I hope you understand the difference now. Conflict resolution does not include some components of peace building, such as state building and socio-economic development. Like peacekeeping, conflict resolution can only follow, not precede conflict. Now, peacekeeping. Peacekeeping refers to activities that tend to create conditions that favor lasting peace. Activities that tend to create conditions that favor a lasting peace. It is thus distinguishable from both peace building and peacemaking. Now, there are broad consensus that as a general category, peacekeeping include the following. Number one, not violence intervention. Not violence intervention. Not violence intervention. Now, that means what makes peacekeeping different from enforcement is that when peacekeeping does not work, peacekeeping always comes after the two parties agreed to stop fighting. Let me give us an example. Speaking out for those who have little or no voice. That's another thing that peacekeeping involves. Number three, bearing witness to the fact, mechanism, dynamics and result of violence and oppression. Number four, passive resistance or standing in the way of violent or oppressive behaviors. Now let me quickly rush through this. The United Nations, which is abbreviated as UN, is an international organization whose stated aims are to facilitate cooperation in international law, international security, economic development, social progress, human rights, and to achieve a world peace. The United Nations was founded in the year 1945 after the Second World War to replace the League of Nations to stop war between countries and to provide a platform for dialogue. It contained multiple subsidiaries organizations to carry out its mission. Within the United Nations group of nations, state, government, and organization, there is a general understanding that the international level peacekeeping, monitoring, and observe in post-conflict areas and may assist ex-combat in implementing peace agreement committee that they have undertaken. Now, such assistance may come in many forms, including confidence building measure, power sharing arrangement, electoral support, strengthening the rule of law, economic and social development. United Nations peacekeeper, often referred to as the blue beret, which includes soldiers, police officers, and civilian personnel. Now, United Nations does not have the soldiers of their own, but military personnel and paramilitary personnel from all the members state countries. And what United Nations does is to ensure that what the two parties who are in conflict has agreed upon, that they maintain that terms and agreement of peace. Now, most international operation implemented by the United Nations with troops serving under United Nations control, the troop remains member of their respective armed forces and do not constitute an independent UN army, as the UN does not have such a force. UN don't have an army of its own, and even if you carry if UN is wanted to go for military operations or theater operations or peacekeeping operations, there are soldiers from different countries, police from different countries, and by the time they gather together, the only thing United Nations have, it doesn't have a uniform of its own. The only thing they have is their blue beret. That means the blue beret symbolize peace and symbolize or implies them as peacekeeper. And by the time they finish their operations or the terms of the operation is terminated, they still return back to their different countries. In case where direct UN involvement is not considered appropriate or visible, the Council may consider authorizing regional organizations such as the North Atlantic Treaty Organization called NATO, the Economic Communities of West African States, and other coalitions of willing countries to undertake peacekeeping or peace enforcement tasks. Now, do you know that even NGO can undertake the work of peacekeeping? Yes, if you go to IDPC camp, that is Internal Displaced People's Camp, you discover that there are so many non-governmental organizations that are taking up the work of peacekeeping, which are authorized by United Nations. Now, there's another organization called NATO, and these ones are peace enforcement agency. They enforce peace. They come in where the two parties who are in conflict are not ready for peace agreement. When the practice of United Nations peacekeeping began, peacekeepers were not expected even to fight. They are not expected even to fight. As a general rule, they were deployed when ceasefire conditions were in place, and only after the parties involved in the conflict has given their consent. Please, only when the party involved are given their consent. Now, there are three principles of the UN operation. Number one is consent of the party. UN don't come into any conflict to resolve conflict or what have you until the two parties has given their consent that we want peace. If only this other party can agree at this, there will be ceasefire agreement. Number two, no impartiality. UN does not, if UN is to come in between what is happening between the Nigerian government and the Boko Haram terrorist group, UN armies are different, are just a neutral body constituting of different soldiers from different states. So there's no partiality. They are not on the side of the government, neither on the side of the terrorist group. They are just a middleman to ensure that the two parties agree on a condition that is favorable. Number three, no use of force except in self-defense and defense of mandate. The United Nations don't use force. It is a contractual agreement. It is both parties in conflict that are ready to submit their weapons and sign a peace agreement. So the only thing when you see peacekeepers, armies or peacekeepers holding guns or ammunition, it is for self-defense. Now, peace ambassador. Who is a peace ambassador? A peace ambassador is an authorized representative of a renowned organization to build, maintain, keep, and facilitate peace in a specific territory where peace is denied. I repeat again, a peace ambassador is an authorized representative of a renowned organization with a mission to build, maintain, keep, and facilitate peace in a specific territory where peace is denied. Now, chaplain as a peace ambassador. Chaplain is an ordained, assigned, and commissioned priest, an agent sent by God to facilitate and maintain peace, order, and justice in the whole world. Chaplain, this is like another definition of chaplain. Chaplain is an ordained, assigned, and a commissioned clergyman or priest, an agent or a commissioned priest, a clergyman or an agent sent by God to facilitate and maintain peace, order, and justice in the whole world. Looking back into all what is happening in the world presently, which is telling us that the end is at hand. Now take a look into so many bad things happening in all the nooks and crannies of the world, coupled with various laws enacted to silence the gospel. Chaplain is the instrument for spreading the love of God, hope, and facilitate peace in the world. Now, chaplain is an ambassador to the whole world. If you look at the Bible, sorry for diverting into the Bible, but I'm not diverting, I'm just buttressing my point. Matthew 28:18-20. Go ye into the world. Go ye into all the world. Now, secular ambassadors are sent to specific countries by their government, but chaplains are sent by the government of heaven to proclaim peace in the whole world, to restore hope to the hopeless, to rescue the dying, and to give life to them that need it, according to John chapter 14, verse 27. So, as a chaplain officer, take up this responsibility. You are a peace ambassador. Chaplains serve as alternate dispute resolution. So we are peace ambassador and we serve as alternate dispute resolution. Like I said in one of my lecture videos, that there are so many issues that are not police case, some issues that are contractual issues, some issues that are civil matters that you need to go to court. Instead of going to court, there are issues that can be settled outside court, except when the issues except when the two parties fail in settlement or in agreeing to the settlement term, then you can take the matter to court. Chaplains serve as alternate dispute resolution, and we are peace ambassadors. So wherever you serve, you find yourself as a chaplain officers, you are a representative of God, and you are to facilitate, maintain, and foster peace in that environment. Thank you once again till I come your way again. My name remains Dr. Chaplain Tunde Obankole. Thank you.